country located in West Africa, embroiled in a devastating conflict that has persisted since 2012, deeply affecting its stability and people. After the collapse of the Libyan state, northern Mali was on fire. In 2012, the Tuareg inhabitants of desert areas began an armed struggle for independence. At the same time, ISIS and al-Qaeda cells became active in Mali. The French, hoping to assist their former colony, deployed troops to counter the militants, but their efforts saw the insurgents expand their control. In a bold move, the Malian government reevaluated its military approach, ultimately severing ties with the French forces. By the year 2025, Mali sought aid from Russia, leading to the deployment of African corps units from the Russian Ministry of Defense to actively address the situation.
African Corps of Mali performing tasks of maintaining the constitutional order of the current authorities. Here we are fighting terrorists of different authorities. On April 25th, a coalition of terrorist groups organized an attack on the largest key cities and facilities of the state. It is not by chance that the objects of the city of Gaussivore, the government airport of Bamako, were chosen.
Yes, I really want that. You brought the bullets, right?
About this thing that doesn't shoot.
Oh, with me.
The enemy used considerable force, and it was clear that this attack was a step towards Bangladesh.
Recharging right now?
Come on. Also, let's say a colossal number of the enemy was thrown into this attack, and significant forces remained in this attack.
It's been 23 times already.
The machine gun is still there. Each of them had a new form and a significant number of weapons for dozens of months. This preparation was underway. Most of the militants were transferred in advance and legendary to the local population here, and at the right moment they took weapons, ammunition, and homemade explosive devices from Kronos and entered into battle.
Okay.
The African corps played a key role in the attack. Fighting in one formation in one trench, we performed tasks.
Together quickly, yes.
With the forces built by Mali, we carry out joint combat operations. We conduct reconnaissance and search operations, the task of searching for the destruction of the enemy in deserts, savannah forests, mountain ranges. Here we are conducting joint mine clearance missions. Well, today we marry the most widespread group here in Mali. They do not position themselves as a struggle for faith, but in fact this is the fighting wing of al-Qaeda and the most radical group that is here. Under al-Qaeda, order is restored. Here they are engaged in robbery, killing civilians, and enrichment.
From here we can see well the road on the other side is the side of Morcola, nor it is Diaboli to the right, it goes to Segu and Bamaka, the federal road is active, there are many buses on it, one of the main cargo arteries in all of Mali. Militants and terrorists are actively using mining tactics in our area of responsibility. On this road, which you and I are on, The most important danger is mine bombs with radio control to blow up the car of the Allies or ours, and also to carry out ambush activities after that. Coordination with the local army, led by Thomas, requires joint movement. They never proceed independently but rely on our support.
Maintain a 25-meter gap between cars to ensure safety and allow drivers ample maneuvering room.
Machine gunners stay alert to every sector, ensuring vigilance in all directions. They understand the need to cover all angles, standing guard on and off the asphalt. When he flies, these which are closed on the asphalt by infantry will start moving. Yes, I know, yes, I accepted you. I'm watching the Allies there so that they don't stay. Join column with the Malian army. A reliable way to deliver fuel to the strongholds of people. Soldiers of large caliber machine guns, such a convoy is enough. So the militants try not to enter into open combat. Instead of a sensual shootout, they prefer to lay landmines. The main challenge on this road is nighttime bomb threats. The cover of darkness makes it harder for us to detect and avoid any explosive traps. That is, due to the invisibility of the dimensions of the car, it is very difficult for the bomber to determine at a distance when at some point he presses the desired button and buries the antenna directly into the ground, which complicates the search for the mine itself, and the bomber himself can sit. It can be further up to 1 kilometer, that is when a person from the other side presses and clamps the button on the receiver itself. The current is supplied from the battery to the speaker in the ground, thereby resulting in an explosion. Yes, as we can now under us. And then with the legs.
Today is a 150-kilometer march during the march. This is where we check especially dangerous areas. The column goes, we stop, comes forward, sappers come out with them, security comes out. This is all engineering patrol. Side patrols are set up, sappers work calmly, checking either a specific point, whether it is a rainstorm or instead of an old explosion, or if it is a dangerous area, it can be several hundred meters or several kilometers. Everything is passed on foot, everything is inspected, ensuring safe passage of equipment.
They find bushes
like this. They put a gas cylinder in it.
This guy himself is sitting, well, over there.
With a small receiver.
And this guy himself is sitting
And
well
from
over
this
there.
emptiness, an explosion occurs on the control of
And
the gas
from this
cylinder.
bush, an
The core
explosion
flies into
occurs at the
splinters and
control.
all
The gas
infantry
cylinder
into rubble.
explodes, the bush is in splinters, and the infantry is in rubble.
The African Corps is clearing roads. The African Corps meticulously clears the roads. Although this does not happen quickly, but then a few days here can travel local residents without fear. Blow up in a mine. Often a whole line of motorcycles lines up behind a Russian column. Of course, standing in traffic jams is too pleasant, but this way they will definitely get to their villages and cities. You see how many holes on the road, a hole that is located at the edge on the left and right flanks. Of course, standing in traffic for roasting is too pleasant, but this way they will definitely get to their villages and cities.
You see how
You can put a canister like they do battery and radio control. The enemy may be somewhere in the bushes.
As they do. Batteries and enemy radio controls may be empty somewhere.
While we were traveling in the convoy, sappers didn't find a single explosive device. Of course, not every operation proceeds calmly. The sappers did not find a single explosive device. Well, of course, not all departures are so calm.
powers here. She, as I say, pass the turn, bird in the sky. Bird in the sky, our bird. There she is. Hello, I say, pass the order of the bird between opinions. Translation is our bird.
One of the tasks of the African Corps is to train soldiers of the Malian army. Of course, the interaction between the two armies is not born on the march. It is long and stubbornly honed on the training ground. The Malians are actively learning combat skills and have already successfully shown themselves during the recent hostilities. Russian instructors do not stop training, even when the thermometer in the training breaks the mark of 40 degrees. Learning combat skills and have already successfully shown themselves during the recent hostilities. Russian instructors do not stop training, even when the thermometer in the shade breaks the mark of 40 degrees.
That is, we will continue to improve and facilitate their work, and accordingly for ourselves.
That is to say, persistent efforts and action will continue unabated with determination.
Improve, criticize my work and mine accordingly. Always keep your guns on safety mode for security.
Let me reiterate this point to everyone once more for
Once
clarity.
the weapon safety is ensured, every procedure is reiterated meticulously. Feel free
When
to reach out
relocating,
for
always
completion
secure your
updates.
weapon on fuses.
Driving, of course, becomes more
Irina
difficult due
consistently
to
ensured
souring
thorough
dirt
preparation and
roads,
analysis
but
of the
this
weapon
only means
operation
that the
process
African
when engaging
Corps
safety
has more time
mechanisms.
for training and preparing
When will the nation
equipment
be
for
safeguarded thoroughly?
departure.
It's vital to maintain ongoing defense strategies actively.
Color? No one canceled the search for militants. Once clouds clear, fresh reconnaissance squads promptly embark on their missions. Of course, it becomes more difficult because of the scattered dirt roads. But this only means that the African Corps remains more time for training and preparation of equipment for departure. No one canceled the search for militants. And as soon as the clouds clear, new reconnaissance teams are sent on a mission.
Now Orvan is leading us here. If there is movement, Orvan will detect it. Yes, it will transmit it immediately.
The area is ready there.
Even the most seasoned soldiers in modern operations rely significantly on drones. Every departure of reconnaissance groups from the sky is closely watched by Russian drones.
Ours is flying Orlando. If there is any movement, the wound will detect it and transfer it immediately.
The motorcycle group acts as a lead patrol on the flanks, like cavalry, and in front goes open the ambush installation sites, plus the sapper goes another one in the motorcycle group. That is, they are the first to carry out, and the RD takes positions. We are already directly pulling up with the main group.
This team
Mainly
functions as
here,
the
by
lead
the way,
patrol
they
in
use
fangs,
high bow
resembling
plans
cavalry
in
units,
succession in
advancing
the
while
trees,
concealing the
often sit on
installation
them.
sites beyond the garden.
Furthermore, sappers within the motorcycle unit are the first to conduct operations.
Are you aware of our destination? Some are fleeing swiftly while others find places to conceal themselves.
Next, we will communicate directly with the village.
In addition, they furnish a vast amount of pertinent and detailed information.
It's a 50-50 chance, partially true in some aspects, yet uncertain in others.
Fighters claim climb a tree, observe. When realizing someone's movement, we retreat further from the village and establish direct communication. A comparable depiction revealing evenly split data 50-50 ratio proves highly factual and definitive.
Communicating with residents of local villages is a way to collect the most relevant information. Nonetheless, visibility from the air is limited, and armed fighters frequently seek cover beneath dense trees. Communicating with residents of local villages is a way to collect relevant information. Still, not everything is visible from the air, and militants often hide under trees.
Alright, I urge you to bring the water forward with urgency. Come on, water.
Greetings.
Well, here you go.
We brought you humanitarian aid to help you, the local population, as our allies.
Proceed.
In the garden.
Mali is a country located in West Africa, embroiled in a devastating conflict that has persisted since 2012, deeply affecting its stability and people.
How?
After the collapse of the Libyan state, northern Mali was on fire. In 2012, the Tuareg inhabitants of desert areas began an armed struggle for independence.
Yes, I got calls about
the same time, ISIS and al-Qaeda cells became active in Mali.
Split into our groups
The French, hoping to assist their former colony, deployed troops to counter the militants, but their efforts saw the insurgents expand their control. In a bold move, the Malian government re-evaluated its military approach, ultimately severing ties with the French forces. By the year 2025, Mali sought aid from Russia, leading to the deployment of African corps units from the Russian Ministry of Defense to actively address the situation.
The second man regarding National Clothing Corps, yes, this is what they are going, yes, into the forest, yes, let's drive over there, they are Sportiva Blue, their Dubovskoye is solid, yes, this is a cache with al-Qaeda weapons.
Yes.
That the militants will illuminate that we are moving from Gediona, all attentive, 3 men, regarding National Clothing Corps, yes, this is what they are going to the forest.
All the men escaped. The woman said.
Of course, most likely the militants, the men all ran away. Discovered and torn tents in the muscle.
Their location is
A few points.
Dubovskoye. Solid.
Ruthie is a woman with al-Qaeda weapons. Only the men all ran away, the women are strong. No. Most likely the men's militants ran away.
I was utterly irrational.
It seems that Adiru alone ran away. They accepted him.
Yes, I agreed. Did he have anything with him?
He ran, saw everything along the way. He wound up this one, he got ran. The tent torn down. They appear to have multiple bases in Moscow.
The Moorish appears.
This is what fighters usually wear.
A suspicious person was detained. They began to examine him. We found his radio station, found his phone, looked at it, called the latest contacts. If necessary, he called himself. But as a rule, if they are observers, at this time the militants themselves begin to call them. The interpreter picks up the phone and realizes that we have taken the observer.
Those detained during such operations are handed over by the African Corps to the Malian army. Regardless of how the raid went, one more job awaits the return of the fighters.
We began to examine him, reached his radio station, found his phone, looked at the latest contacts, called if necessary, called himself. But as a rule, if it is observers at this time, the militants themselves begin to call them. The interpreter picks up the phone and understands that we have taken the observer.
Detained during such operations, the African Corps hands over to the Malian army, regardless of how the raid took place. Upon the return of the fighters, another job awaits: maintenance of weapons equipment.
It's cool here, it's hot here. I don't actually even look. Weapons served, this is very important. There will be all the juice here. Forever dirt. I'm a fool, I love my job, it's hard, difficult, but when everyone works...
extremely difficult to carry from the
Submachine guns that can't be hurt, and you have machine guns that provide fire support, I like it. We live as friends, we live as brothers in the same game. There is a kind of brotherhood, I really respect it, I love it. This represents strength. It's cool here, it's hot here, I don't really look at it for a long time. It's been serviced weapons. This is very important, especially where the sand here is forever dirt. I have an understanding, I love my job, or it's hard, but when everyone works with these submachine guns that can't be hurt,
without faith, there's no path ahead. Even in a distant African country, a place was found for God's house.
They give you my God as the palace of wrath. My lower one is not true. So I pity them, and I present myself to you, my God, and I express the will to repent. O Lord, my God, help me humbly paint. The medical team arrived in Mali on the first board.
Just without faith on the front lines, there was no place for God, even in a distant African country.
At home I see you, my God, and the wrathful palace you offer.
And since then, they have not stopped helping the wounded and sick.
I feel sorry for everyone. And
at the same time, both Russians and Malian soldiers are treated within their walls.
Help me with this humility. The people who came to the complete...
Isn't there a fragment in your knees?
With your forgiveness allowed me to live as God.
Actually, if we finish now and block him, we could delay him slightly.
In general, the hospital and medical service is a multidisciplinary unit here. All resuscitation, anesthesiology, a group of specialized medical care, an air medical evacuation group on non-helicopter and aircraft modules,
while treating both Russians and Malian soldiers within their walls. Fragment by generation method.
No?
Well, actually, if we finish now and block him a little bit...
Allied forces, and not only Malian, yes, turn to us with great pleasure because we can do a lot here, if not everything. Unit here, all resuscitation, anesthesiology, group specialized medical care group, aviation,
everyone, good morning.
Evacuation group on helicopter aircraft modules. I can say that the Allied forces, not only in Malian, are very happy to talk to us because we can do a lot here, if not everything.
Work out the northwestern part of the area. Inspect in 2 echelons where the enemy bases are.
The elder I will go with the FAM unit, which Comrade Colonel provided me.
Gradually, depending on the terrain, to the northeast, pass along the Rus River, where the presence of the enemy is possible. Produce, so to speak, RPD.
I suggest.
Focus on activities in the northwest direction.
Inspect the part of Area 2 thoroughly.
Echelons, yes. Where are the enemy bases, Sasha? I will go with the Fama unit, which will provide me. These burn trucks have been extensively boasted about by militants online multiple times. Travel east. Radicals pretentiously claimed that they had begun a transport blockade of the capital of Mali. The African Corps, together with the Allied forces, made major adjustments to their plans. The militants were pushed off the road, traffic was opened, and the remnants of the gang now hide in the forests and scatter as soon as armored vehicles are spotted from afar. The militants repeatedly boasted about these burned trucks on the internet. The radicals pretentiously claimed that they had begun a transport.
I believe that our
blockade of the
efforts
capital
here
of
are not
Mali.
in vain.
The
We are
African
making an
Corps,
impact.
together with Allied troops, the point is to minimize the accumulation of large enemy forces. Were pushed off the route of traffic.
Since the territories are huge, the enemy
remnants
goes
of the
deep.
gangs are now hiding.
They're
in the
hiding,
forests
we're
and
trying to
dispersing.
find them.
As soon as the armored vehicles are
detection, the
spotted
enemy
from
is
afar.
destroyed.
They are actively moving along this road. Determinedly, she signed off and countered movements on this road.
I realize action-packed activity occurs here continuously.
The essence of
almost
minimizing
everywhere.
clusters of large ones.
Ask when was the
Enemy
last time you
forces,
saw a
given the
gunman. The last
vastness of
time was
this territory.
yesterday.
Were you there yesterday around 20 hours? There's a
hiding, we're
quantity
trying to
of them
find them.
moving stealthily on
Upon detection, the
motorcycles or
enemy is
pickup
destroyed.
trucks with dislocation details
Here's the
available.
situation. Funds are allocated precisely for this road.
These are kilometers.
They constantly came to us there repeating their words and actions.
There are militants everywhere here all the time. Sorry, when was the last time you believed I was afraid? Yesterday we were dressed at 20 hanbok. Quantity when
Wait,
everyone...
there's a group there now under
Motorcycles
command.
and pickup
I'll inform
trucks
you
are
as soon as
mobilized
it's
at sea For
dispatched.
strategic purposes.
Remove them from him.
Here is detailed information and context for
Based
better
on reports
understanding.
from allies, terrorists are reportedly using motorcycles for mobility.
Should they resist, armed individuals are swiftly neutralized on site during reception.
That the dust has risen, well, give the group there now in command as
Come
soon
on,
as
I
I
accept
send the
it. Let's start
ladies
the
to know.
engines.
According to the Allies, terrorists are moving on motorcycles. If armed resistance arises, they are to be handled decisively on the spot. Preparations are complete, and I agree. Let's proceed with financing swiftly.
I'll head northwest while you focus on the northeast direction.
What was there?
These are Boyaki on the forehead.
And Zaruka Logo Vidal.
I'm telling you, we're going to the northwest, and I'll work in the northeast, that it was there for any
Let's investigate and see what
militant
findings await us at that
was
location.
inflicted now. Indeed, we're advancing now while evaluating what insights can be gathered along the way.
I chose a straightforward spot to safeguard the team. Should there be enemies nearby, they would reveal themselves through vibration signals. As a protector, I initiated operational measures with 3 fire sources, fully prepared to adapt and act according to wind directions or identified road gaps.
Operational responses. Come on, 3 fiery sparks ignite the drive within me. Let's work and face the wind. Show me the path and the looming gap along the way.
Here they found a guide. These are the mines they install on trees, and that is there. In particular, against a motorcycle group of pedestrians, they cut off the cylinder, stuff it there with bolts and nuts. That is, with all the striking element, and
They
install
carefully
the
remove the
ready-made
cylinder,
charge.
starting with the bolts and nuts, following a calculated method.
That is all the striking elements and installs the ready-made charge.
He communicates in English through his writings.
Boys, take the bullets.
He writes in English.
Take it!
Found traces of stay. Well, the blow is over 100 meters from the very location where they have a girl. Meters away. This is precisely the ominous place known for dissolution and suspicion.
Vibra, yes, I accepted you. Come on, I'll set you up to complete the task.
Cyber, yes, I fully accepted you and agreed to complete the assigned task as required.
There were fresh gray hairs. They could see it.
We heard that a group of motorcyclists was coming. We immediately jumped into it. We got up. Here we go. Here you just need to destroy it all. You can't leave it in any case.
Camp.
Because it will be used against civilians.
Explain?
All you need to do here is destroy everything, and you can't leave it behind under any circumstances.
Here you are, because it will be applied against
civilians.
We're coming back. Yes, I accepted you. We're still waiting for the 300s. There were a lot of fresh jeeps and motorcycles targeting this place of rupture. There were a lot of canisters, 3 coils of wire. Well, all of them. There were a lot of them. There was a ready control panel.
Forest, motorcycles.
self-absorption that.
Between the brake.
A homemade weapon aimed at infantry.
Well, all sorts of things for greasy
One
ones.
photograph.
That is, the blanks were all
Here
dug
she is,
out
right?
and ready. The
2
control
wires.
panel
It
was
looked
in
like a
front and
detonating
gripped
cord
with
at
a
first.
homemade explosive device aimed at
Well
the
done,
infantry.
discovered.
The photo here is that the 2 wires of adrenaline looked like they were detonating at first.
Well done, discovered. In Mali, there isn't a concrete front line. The gunmen attack and then try to escape. For the African Corps, the entire territory of Mali is a single frontier. Reconnaissance search operations do not stop for a single day. The entire territory of Mali is a single frontier. Throughout Mali, 10 to 15 teams are deployed daily in search of militants in the desert, savannah, and forests. 10-15 detachments are deployed daily in search of militants in the savannah desert and among the forests. As we were editing the film, the African Corps had to once again demonstrate that the rules of engagement for militants shifted significantly. On the early morning of July 4th, a coalition of terrorist factions including Jamaat Nusrat al-Islam wal-Muslimin and the Azawad Liberation Front launched an attack on the village of Anefis and an African Corps base. To execute the assault, they employed vast manpower and resources. There were up to 5,000 militants alone and more than 1,000 pieces of equipment. According to reports from captured terrorists, the instructional activities were carried out in a devastating conflict that has persisted since 2012, deeply affecting its stability and forces repelled 4 waves of offensive with the help of PPLA and FPV attack artillery. After the collapse of the Libyan carriers, armored vehicles and pickups with large. In 2012, the Tuareg inhabitants of desert areas began an armed struggle for independence. Losses in manpower and equipment. At the same time, terrorists and al-Qaeda cells became active. The African Corps, together with the French, continued to destroy terrorists throughout Mali to counter the militants, but their efforts saw the insurgents expand their control. In a bold move, the Malian government re-evaluated its military approach, ultimately severing ties with the French forces. By the year 2025, Mali sought aid from Russia, leading to the deployment of African Corps units from the Russian Ministry of Defense to actively address the situation.